Hi, this is Laura Hedgecock for Treasure Chest of Memories, interviewing the irrepressible
Thank you. I like that adjective.
Jacobs, whom I claim as a cousin.
Absolutely.
All
It's
right.
no need to claim. It's true.
So I have some questions.
Well, first of all, I just want to say thanks for interviewing me, and thanks for being such a great cousin and helping with my event, the Global Family Reunion. And yeah, you were a VIC, as we call them, very important cousin.
Oh, great.
So you're a hero.
Good. I'm going to get to the family reunion, but first, I have more of a writing question.
Yes, ma'am.
So what compels you to translate life, both the experiential and the experimental, into narrative?
That is a good question, and my publisher is asking me exactly like, why aren't you translating it? Where's the book? But I would say a couple of things. One, it's a great way to remember stuff because otherwise it just flits through your brain. So I love writing stuff down. A good way to make sense of life, which doesn't always make sense, but you can sort of impose some false, create some sense, whether or not it's true. But I'm a big fan of recording everything because I also think our memories, and you know this, or maybe you don't, but you do deal with memories. To me, memories are so faulty. We forget so much, and we misremember. So that's a big part of it.
Yeah. Because I work with people that are trying to put together their own memories and stories. And one thing you do exceedingly well is use humor, particularly self-effacing humor some of the time.
Well, there's a lot to efface.
And so what would you advise people about trying to include or embrace humor as they write their stories?
Well, I think you can find humor in almost anything, and you have to, otherwise, or at least I do. Otherwise, I would go crazy. So, yeah, and I find it more pleasurable to make fun of myself because, there's a lot to make fun of. And also, I just don't feel guilty. Like, I can slam myself all I want, but if I start attacking other people, then it doesn't feel as good. But
that's a good point.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, there's humor everywhere. I find life is full of absurdity. And, it doesn't always make sense. But if you can have a good time, then, that's really my only secret.
So it's part of the way you enjoy your writing.
That's true. Yeah, I do find that is a big help. If I feel like I'm having a good time writing, that is so huge. And I actually once had a nice dinner with a Daily Show writer, and I asked him, how do you do it? And he said, well, one important thing is to surprise yourself.
Surprise yourself.
I never thought about that, but sort of like somehow, yeah, you're typing along, and then suddenly your mind takes a surprising turn, and to capture those. So be open to surprising yourself.
Cool.
Yeah, I like that. I didn't make it up, so.
But still, it's a cool thing.
It is cool, yeah.
So, to the Global Family Reunion, you announced today that 2017, it's back on.
2017.
And that theoretically, at least, It's All Relative will be behind you at that point.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm telling my publisher.
What surprised you about the Global Family Reunion?
Well, it was surprising. I mean, it was in June, and you were a big part of it. But it was just to, if anyone doesn't know what it is, which of course they should, is
my readers know what it is.
Oh yeah. Oh okay. So anyway, it was a big family reunion for the entire world, all 7 billion people. We got 3,700 in New York, and we had these wonderful parties all over the world, which got a total of 10,000. And what surprised me, one was the awesome enthusiasm of the people who were helping out and who just saw it as more than just like a party, but as like a statement that we are all the same family. It's not us versus them. It's all us. We are the human family.
So you were surprised at the way people embraced that?
I was. I thought it touched me, but I didn't know. I was also surprised by how intense it was planning it. It was like,
I bet so.
I was overwhelmed. It was like planning like 1,000 bar mitzvahs at once. And Not that I've ever planned a bar mitzvah, but it was
But there are
like,
people that do that.
yeah, that's true. But it was crazy. I mean, it was, it was much smaller than RootsTech. So I am just in awe of how they put this
Oh
on.
yeah,
That's
it's
pretty
true.
cool.
They're really good to us. So when do you think we will see It's All Relative in the bookstores?
2017. It will be in 2017.
That's good.
So yeah, you heard it here.
And when you were promoting the Global Family Reunion, we talked a whole lot about this big world collaborative tree.
Yeah.
And last year you were stating that you really felt optimistic about genealogists' ability to correct each other and build more and more accuracy in the tree. You still feel that way? You feel less that way, more that way?
That's interesting. I still do feel that way. Partly because, if you look at the history of Wikipedia, when it first came out like 15 years ago, people were like, that is the craziest idea ever. Like, who is going to, it's going to just say, Paul Revere was a jazz singer. There's no controls. But they formed a community that polices it and takes like real ownership and really feels passionate. And it's still got huge number of mistakes, but it's far more accurate than I would ever have thought. So I don't think this world family tree will ever be 100% accurate, but I think if people can really get excited about it and passionate, then I do feel optimistic.
And so the passion is part of the...
Totally. You need people committed. Like if people just put their stuff up without anyone checking, without a community of hardcore believers, then it's going to be just crazy talk.
So what's your next great experiment or initiative that you have on your
that is a good
midterm
question.
Horizon?
Well, I do have to write my book.
Well,
I keep forgetting about that. But yeah, I am doing, well, one thing I'm interested in, and I have to talk to my publisher, but I am interested in how we come to believe what we believe. And partly it's the presidential race that has really been fueling that. Because, the fact that some people can still be Obama birthers and insist, future President Trump, that Obama was born in Kenya, it's just so baffling to me. And I want to find out, how does this happen? How do their brains work that they can't accept all the evidence that, he actually is?
And how are you going to go about that?
I don't know. You got any ideas? Talk to Donald Trump?
Yeah, that would mean that, but
that's a start.
You can apply that to non-political situations
as
well.
No, it'll be about everything, like how we come to believe what we believe.
And why it's so embedded in us.
Right, exactly.
Genealogists would love that because a lot of people believe family lore. That's one of the things that we believe, and there can be direct evidence to the contrary.
Exactly, and you still, the old saying.
Maybe it's because it's changing the worldview to change your mind. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard. Well, the old saying, don't let the truth get in the way of good story. You know that saying? So, because it's
That's not a good mantra for a nonfiction writer.
No, I don't say that as a journalist. But yeah, it was I think it's one of the problems is that what makes a great story is not always what's true. The truth can sometimes be kind of dull. Like the fact that Obama was born in Hawaii, that's not as interesting as that he was secretly born in Kenya. That's fun. That's exciting. It just doesn't happen to be true.
It's the X-Files factor.
Exactly. People want these mysteries and conspiracies, and so there are some in the world, but not nearly as many as people think.
Oh, well, great. I see Logan asking us to round it up, so
enough of the...
I'm sure I will continue to talk to you and cooperate with you.
Absolutely, I'm a big fan of what you do.
Hope to some way be a part of the storytelling tent
for sure.
2017 with Carol.
Love it.
It's just a pleasure to see you again.
Great to see you. We're family, so we can hug.
We're cousins. Don't have to elbow bump.
No.
All right.